Welcome to Section 5 recap. In Section 5, we looked at the various control structures in Java. So let's recap what the different control structures were. But before we do that, we have to look at what a control structure is. So a control structure, as you remember, is basically a statement or a set of statements that occur in a non-sequential order. This means that the computer does not simply interpret them going down line by line. It could repeat some statements and execute them multiple times even though they're only listed once, or it could completely skip some statements, and that's what sets control structures apart from regular statements. So we looked at the if statement. The if statement, there's a condition, and if the condition is met, the body is executed. The body is executed for that condition. And let's say none of the condition is not met, then there's an else block that's executed. So the if statements are something that are immensely useful. The only drawback of an if statement is that the body can only occur once, and it can only happen once. So it can't repeat bodies, because what happens is that once the condition is met, it's not rechecked to see if the condition is still met or not. But on the other hand, for while loops, the while loop continues to check conditions again and again, so it's repetitive or iterative. And what it does is it just keeps checking a condition until it evaluates to be false. And that's why you need to have an update statement within the while loop that prevents that from happening. And then we have for loops. The for loops probably have the most complicated syntax of our control structures, and even then it's not that complicated. You simply have a start value, and then you have a check value or a check condition which you always are checking, and then you have an update statement, and this is all near the for keyword. And similarly to the while loop, the for loop can repeat multiple times as well, and that's why it's repetitive or iterative. And these control structures are the foundation of logic in Java. So up to now, what we've learned besides these control structures has been a lot of syntax, a lot of memorizing, nothing really requiring us to use our brains and to think of solutions. But now we can make real programs, and this is real computer science, because we're able to make a program where we can ask a user for averages, and then we can ask the user can give us as much numbers as he or she wants, and we can give him or her an average. And that's where really computer science comes in, because using these control structures can help us do things based on what the user does and interact with the user, and depending on what the user does, that depends on what the program does. And we can also repeat multiple things at once. So that's really where control structures fit into computer science, and control structures are the foundation of logic in Java. This is where logic really kicks into computer science, and this is the real computer science that require this is the real computer science, because it requires a lot of logic and thinking.